Hey guys. Hey Russ. How are you? You guys hear me okay? Okay. Oh, it's so weird to be back. I had a nice weekend. Spent some time with my friends. It was a lot of fun. Is the music okay or is it too loud? Alright. That's I'm sorry. I'm talking to Luke. He's been kind enough um, to give me a few pointers, and that helps a lot. Yay, Musa. Thanks for the beer. You get the deja brew? Yeah. Yes, I think Luke is also watching, but he's busy because he has a lot of trades going on. And yes, the market has, you know, finally woken up from its slumber, and the it's been very, very good. I'm gonna try and set up a giveaway thingy on Twitch. So hopefully tomorrow I'll start doing giveaways and whatnot to those who are watching me. Okay, and I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. You guys, if you have any recommendations or suggestions, feel free to message me. Is it me, or are there not many position trades in the past days? Not many bases broke by panic? That's not true. Hey, BB, how are you? That's not true because I've been position trading this weekend, and sadly I wasn't by my computer, so the only thing I could do was really sit there and like on Saturday we had a lot of coins tanked. So the only exchange I could trade on was Binance because you're FOMOing because you don't do position trades. I'll talk about it in a little bit. The only access I had was Binance, okay? And yeah, absolutely. So I've taken a few what's the word? Trades. Absolutely, I'll go over everything, guys, as I always do. All right. So this is funny. This is one of the coins I've been trading on KuCoin as well. And then Luke is like, I found this awesome coin for you guys. Take a look at this one because you can actually trade with a lot of money. I haven't been really trading with a lot of money in this one. I think I maybe put in like, I don't know, $300-400 in here over time. But this has been a very profitable coin. It was one of my secret coins, and I'm sorry guys, I didn't want to give it away to you, but I've been milking this thing for like the last month and a half basically. It's really good. I'll tell you how I trade while we're in the bull market. Honestly, now, I mean, I trade the same way, you know, I trade the same way, except now I'm basically taking away the profits, okay? So this nulls, it's on KuCoin, and I was using the BTC pair. I was trying to do Ethereum because I had some Ethereum as well, but I've realized that BTC pair has a little bit more swings to it. So I switched to BTC. I transferred some money from Ethereum to BTC and KuCoin, and I was trading this. Here you can pretty much buy any of these nice red dips, okay? And for those who don't know how I trade, the same way that Luke does, I don't FOMO into the green. I only look for places where I can buy red. And the lower it goes, the you're only Ethereum and KuCoin? Yeah, for sure. You don't really have to send BTC. What I do is I just, exchange BTC into Ethereum or the other way around. So on this coin, this was so great, and I've traded this. Let me see. I know it's not linked to my KuCoin account, but that's fine. The lower the coin would go, the higher the amount I would throw into it would be. So this one, because it wasn't like a major amount that I was playing with, and I still have a nice trading stash on a KuCoin account, just in case of situations like if I would buy over here and then it decides to tank all the way down here, I'm going to put a lot of more money over here, basically. But I've been trading with about $200 to $500 on this coin, and it's been making very, very good profits for me. So I've easily almost like quadrupled the amount that I started with, even more, actually. Was I throwing $500 at a time in there? Of course not. Like I said, I'm a very safe trader, so if I see that the coin was tanking and I was trading this, I think I'm lucky in the sense that I'm in no rush. So what I do is I buy somewhere over here, and then if I didn't sell in this little tiny bounce, I'm just gonna buy pretty much like the same amount or a little bit more over here, because remember, guys, like I previously mentioned, the lower the price of the coin goes, the more money, the more coins you can buy with the same price. So if over here with $100 I could have bought, let's just say 50 coins, over here I could buy 70 coins with the same $100 because the price is much lower. And a lot of times I would just put the same amount of money in there. Sometimes I would like double it up or put, instead of 100, put 130 or 150. And this has been very, very profitable for me. So $100 here, $200 there. Over here I put a lot. I think I bought somewhere in this section. And I just gave the coin time. I didn't sell these. Like I said, when I layer my buys, I don't sell everything here. So if I put $100 here, another 100 over here, and then 200 here, I'm $400 in the coin, right? So am I going to sell $400 worth of my money over here? Probably not. I'm gonna sell 200 here, and then the profits, and then maybe sell this amount over here somewhere, because this coin has been performing very, very well. So of course I was in a way kind of nervous, but I don't do 100 times leverage. You guys know me. I'm a very, very safe trader. I go like maybe 25 times max if I'm comfortable enough. Anyway, so this has been extremely profitable, and trust me, even if you don't catch the bottom, okay, a lot of people sit there and they're like, oh my god, I could have bought lower. But even if you still buy somewhere in this, god damn it, I'm sorry, somewhere in this section, right, let's say under a base, right, and you nibbled in here and you sold up on top over here, it's still profits. So all profits count. These coins, these trades, yeah, these trades, I'm on 1 hour chart, so each one of these candles is 1 hour. So yeah, over the course of the last let me see, March, so it was like end of February. So I would say I would probably done, I don't know, maybe 15-20 trades total on this coin. So, and I'm still gonna go for it, basically. There's enough support here. Obviously, people are interested in this coin. And like Luke said, if you're interested in putting a little bit more money in here than, $50, then you can absolutely do that, because the coin just allows you to, to come in with larger sums because of the volume here. Okay? Because look at the average order size, we have anywhere from 0.002 to 0.03, 0.08, you know, so you can squeeze your orders in there. Can I look at RFR? Absolutely. Do I buy in every base crack? You know what? This thing was a mixture of position trading for me and account building. Okay, because normally when I do account building trades, I ignore the base cracks. I just, you know, buy and then I layer my sells. You know, because this coin, the order book changed a little bit, but it was even thinner than it is now. You know, so there were plenty of gaps between the orders. And I could, you know, buy over here, and then as soon as my buy went through, I would, you know, put my sell orders here. The key was just basically to wait. And sometimes, you know, because I auto set my sell orders as well, sometimes, you know, the first two orders would go through, and then maybe like a day later, my top order would go through, but it's still profit. So when I trade, it's not like I come in and out of the coin completely. Sometimes I do have some coins not stuck, but left in there because either I have a sell order sitting somewhere on top and we haven't reached that top yet. And like right now, when I was trading this, I bought the dip. I think I bought somewhere over here. You know, and then I had my sell order set up, so my sell orders were layered, and I still have, I think this one went through as well, and I still have a few, you know, set up over here because the channel that you're working with, I'm gonna go on a 4-hour chart of this one. The channel is pretty large. Look at all these swings, you know. So when I established a channel on this coin, this was pretty much it for me, you know. So anywhere in this area, we have a 50%, you know, gap between the top line of the channel and the bottom line of the channel. So anywhere in this area, I can pretty much put my buys and sells. And of course, just to cover my own butt, I always layer lower if I have to, you know. On this coin, I would layer lower just in case, but I don't really have a lot of orders placed all the way at the bottom. I do have a few orders placed over here. It's just how I personally trade. Just in case this thing decides to tank, like it did over here. These, you know, orders over here might get, you know, might to get filled. Okay. So it was a mixture of account building and position trading for me. Because the coin has enough volume for me to, let's see. The coin has enough volume basically for me to consider it a position trading coin in a way, because it's a faster moving coin, you know. Plus, you can obviously see very clear base breaks, you know, on some of these dips. So let's see, yeah, like over here. So these were very profitable. I don't think I traded this. I think I started trading somewhere over here. So, all right. That trade takes days. Of course, it takes days. But then again, are you interested in making, you know, 5% a day on little swings, or would you rather come in and then, you know, hold it for a while and then make 30%, for example? You know, this is why people, you know, they keep asking me how I trade and what sums I traded, and I'm going to go over that today as well. It's just I want you guys to realize that the more the coin dips, especially if it's a large volume coin, the more you can invest into it. Why don't I use Binance? Of course I use Binance, but Binance I use for position trading. The little coins, little exchanges like KuCoin and Cryptopia, HitBTC, you know, the ones that are, I call them the bot exchanges. Those are the ones that help me, you know, build up my account as well. If, for example, there are no base cracks going on in position trading, you know. Okay, let me look at RFR. RFR. And feel free to ask questions. I don't know what exchange it's on. What exchange is that going on? Is that even... Oh, refer you. 1 second. It's on Gate.io. Yeah, I see. I don't have it over here, sadly. No, it should be over here, right? Huh. Maybe if you do have a chart for it, on TradingView or something, could you maybe link it to me? I can take a look at it. Yeah, I do use Binance as well. Absolutely, I do. MLD and see what a good if it's a good pullback opportunity. Yeah, 1 second. Do I have it? And guys, I'm the wrong person to ask about pullbacks, honestly. Okay, I know there's some people who trade based off, you know, do the pullback trading. I am not a good trader when it comes to pullback opportunities. Okay, 56, 15. Well, this looks like around 51. Looks like a nice solid 51. Looks like a nice solid support. Okay, 50, 51, and then 75. So maybe around this section right here. But obviously the order book can change. I would personally not touch this, but that's just me, and I don't do pullback trading. Okay, you can probably layer somewhere in this section over here and see what's gonna happen. Okay, let me see. Yeah, give it a shot. The coin is kind of slow moving, so it might take a little bit of time. But sure, if you want to trade this, then here would be my, you know, some of my buys. Okay. You guys need to be more patient. I cannot, you know, teach you how to be patient. Okay. I'm patient because I'm a slow trader and it pays off. And I've noticed that the longer, I'm not saying the longer I hold, the more profitable it is, but at least it gives me, you know, the time, or it gives the coin the time to do what it wants to do. Okay. Yeah, 1 second. One second. Okay. I'm switching between like 5 different Discords because everybody is asking me all kinds of stuff. Okay. I'm glad that people are interested in this kind of method of trading, honestly. I'm sure everybody got tired of losing money. Anyway, probably, yeah, so 50-51 would be a nice floor. And then you can layer somewhere in between over here, okay? Oh my God, yes, I haven't set up any, but didn't I have issues with the wallet and whatnot? I'll go back to it and I'll set it up. I promise I will. Okay. Do you find any value in exchange in trading medium volume coins not listed on bigger exchanges, only listed on smaller exchanges? For example, FOTA on KuCoin. FOTA or IOTA? FOTA. Oh, KuCoin. Let me see. Yeah, absolutely. These would be some of the coins I would be interested in. Let me see. You can absolutely trade these, and I was going to mention a few coins today. I've been going over my Bittrex trades. Okay, yeah. If they fixed it, anime coin, I'll set it up. Don't worry. Okay. Do I still have part of my portfolio in USD? Absolutely. I always have a part of my portfolio in USD. Because essentially, guys, like I mentioned before, we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, we don't know where the coin is going to go and how high. And quite frankly, if it's going up, that's wonderful. I'm still waiting for a dip. Okay. Yes, I'll show you my position trades. Okay, so the one that I've been milking forever is EOS, and I've been both trading in BTC because I have some money in there, and Binance as well. So EOS has been extremely profitable for me. I've held this coin. I've clutched my bags and bags of this coin since over here, basically. And then I did sell some on these rises. And then we had a nice drop, right? This was an amazing coin for me to trade. I do believe in the project, and I still held a lot of coins. So although this was a slow grind down, a lot of it, and we didn't have nice bounces until later, it gave me an opportunity to buy the more EOS coins, basically, at a cheaper price. Okay? You want to dip to get back into Ethereum? Okay. Yeah, I know, guys, I know. Listen, if you, like I said, if you sit there and expect something to happen, a lot of times you will screw yourselves over, because everything that you wanted, you want as far as where the coin is going to go and how much money you're going to make, you're losing the side of the big picture, okay? So the reason why I'm always in USDT partially, well, not partially, about 80% of my trading stack is in USDT. Because when I started to trade, I've decided for myself that I'm more interested in increasing my USD stack, or USDT stack. EOS is going up since expect more up. Okay, great. If it goes up, it goes up. If it doesn't go up and continues to go down, trust me, I'm safe. EOS has been very, very good for me, and this is the coin I'm going to hold long term. Okay, yeah, I do hold 80% of my trading stack in USDT. Because like I said, the way I trade, okay, is if I decide to get into a coin, it doesn't mean that I'm going to sit there and what's it called? FOMO into a coin, basically. I use the USD or BTC money to position myself in the coins that I want to get into, okay? So those trading stacks are just like the initial investments that I use to get the free coins. So what happened over here, and I'm on a 4-hour chart, is I bought here, I bought over here, and then I bought even more at the bottom over here because we did have a nice, very nice juicy dip, okay? And I was going to continue to buy lower and lower if I would have had to, because I believe in this coin. So to me, this wasn't like, oh my God, I need to, get out of this coin because I'm losing money. No, I've consciously went into this coin because I wanted to buy cheaper coins. Imagine, you can buy pretty much the same amount of a coin for a much lower price. then you would have bought over here, right? And because I believed in the fundamentals of EOS, I knew that at some point this thing was going to turn around. And remember how I explained to you guys how I know how to get out of quote unquote bad trades? Is because the lower it goes, the more money I'm going to put in it, okay? And then at some point, there's always going to be a green. And if I'll catch that green, okay, like I said over here, let me go on 1 hour chart again. Here. So for example, let's just say I've traded this, right? That broke the base. For whatever reason, I decided to buy over here. And essentially, I'm still at loss, right? And then it went further down, you know, this grind happened. Let's just say I bought a little bit more over here, a little bit more over here. And then finally, we had a nice juicy dip. So by trading this dip and putting, let's just say, twice as much money as I invested over here, this dip will not only allow me to compensate for my loss from these investments, right? It will also bring me profit, because what did I tell you guys before? I invested, let's just say, $100 over here, right? And by the time we've gotten to here, I was, you know, 40% down on $100. I was $40 minus on my initial investment of $100, right? By the time we've gotten here, what am I going to do? I'm going to put, you know, let's just say $200 over here. This was a nice panic sell, right? To me, although this was kind of a panic, but we didn't have enough interest from the buyers coming in. So yeah, you can still mess up on these trades, you know, expecting it to go up. But this was a straightforward panic. So I felt more confident because a lot of other coins were dumping too at that time. I've invested a lot of money in here, okay? I didn't only double up my amount over here, but I put a little bit more, you know? And then I just waited. And this rise, right? This rise over here, let's just say it went up 18% or whatever, 20%. The 20% rise, for example, if I would have decided to sell this mess over here, right? Because you never know where the coin is going to go. Now we know that it went up, right? This 20% rise not only compensated for my losses from here, because I invested not $100 like I did over here, but I invested $200 over here. I also managed to buy more cheaper coins, you know, for $200. And I've also made some profits in it. Huh? I've always at least half of my stack in USDT, but I'm the type of person that doesn't trust that much in BTC going to 50K. I prefer staying safe. That works for me, but I still do tether trades, margins once in a while, base trading. They do increase my portfolio. If BTC decides to drop to 300 from nowhere, I'm buying the dip and selling back quickly to the... Exactly. You're doing a good strat as well. And like I said, some people prefer to trade only USDT pairs. When I first started, I only traded USDT pairs, trust me. I only traded USDT Ethereum, okay? Now I'm, you know, I got more stuff to play with. You're still, if you're mainly in fiat, I'm not as much able to trade Ethereum BTC pairs to gain Ethereum and BTC. Also, when I start doing position trading and I start in, for example, with 10K, what percentage would you layer that stack and how many coins? If I would go with 2.5 on the first layer, second layer 5%, third layer 10% for the coins that I don't have funds to buy in. You guys, you think this is a black and white type of a scenario, okay? Each coin is different. If you're gonna trade 100 coins and trade the base cracks, you know, you're gonna lose yourself quickly, especially if you're a beginner. Because things like this happen. Although this wasn't really a panic, you know, but we had a nice slow grind down. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna you don't have the patience to buy here and here and here and here, and then a month and a half later you're like, oh wow, cool, it actually went up, you know. What I would recommend you do You have, let's just say $10,000 in USDT right now, right? Instead of going ham and all in, you can absolutely take a position in BTC. Okay. Let me just go to BTC. Okay, you can absolutely take a position in BTC, right? At some point, you're like, you know what? For whatever reason, I think this thing is going to skyrocket to 20K right now, right? Might happen, might not. Who knows? I take away the whole guessing thing out of my trading mentality completely. I don't need it. Okay, I don't need to sit there and guess where it's going to go because I'm prepared for any situation. So if I was in your position, okay, and I had $10,000 to play with, what would I do first? I would probably get some BTC to trade with, right? Before I would get into the rest of the alts, although you can. Yeah, I'll look at Encash. 1 second. Yeah, I know everybody's been screaming about Encash. I didn't trade that one. Okay. The reason why okay, you have two options. Either ignore the USDT price or USD price or Euro price completely and just concentrate on building up your BTC stack, because a month ago you had $1,000 worth of BTC, right? And now because you've traded all of these alts and you've increased the amount of BTC that you're holding, even if the BTC went down, you still have, you know, a little bit more BTC Satoshi value wise, okay? So figure it out for yourself what you want to do. So what helps me is, and the reason why I have majority of my money in USDT is because, and I always had it, is because I know that I can accumulate my BTC stash for my alts trading, you know, by trading these dips. So what I do is, instead of sitting here and FOMOing in right now, I'm going to wait for another dip, wherever that dip is going to happen, okay? If it's going to happen over here, then I'll trade it. And then, for example, we dipped, right? And then I bought, I don't know, $1,000 worth of BTC. And then this thing has risen, you know, let's just say 11%, 10%. $100 worth of free BTC coins, I'm going to keep in BTC, and I'm just going to take my initial investment out. I don't consider my trading stack as the money that, it's basically a gateway for me to come in, trade a coin, use that, you know, available amount that I have in USDT, trade whatever coin I need to trade, take my initial investment out, and leave the free coins in the coin. So by the time I'm done trading this, right, and I'm with $100 worth of free BTC coins, I'm going to take that $100 worth of free BTC coins, and then I'm going to continue and trade my alts, okay? That's one way of doing it. And the rest of the money that I traded with, the $1,000 that I have invested over here, that's going to go back into my trading stack, and I'm going to use it for the next opportunity there's going to be a dip. Because trust me, to me it doesn't matter whether Bitcoin is going to be $30 or 300,000. Like I said before, as long as there is a dip, I'm going to use that dip to accumulate free coins without me really leaving my money in there. Or you can do a different, you can do it differently. You can say, okay, well, BTC is rising right now, but I'm FOMOing, you know? So you can absolutely FOMO in. I mean, who am I to stop you, right? FOMO in right here, but also decide which amount you want to FOMO in with. Decide, well, first of all, I would, hello, this is, Jesus. If I want to FOMO into this thing, I'm going to wait for at least a nice little retracement before, you know, I decide to buy. But if you want to position yourself in a trade right now, do it, but make sure that you have enough money to cover your ass in case this thing decides to tumble down all the way to whatever, okay? So do you want to invest $10,000 that you have to your name over here? Or maybe you want to invest $500 and play with that $500, make money off of that, and then decide that, you know what, now this coin is dipping. I know how I'm going to compensate this loss, and I know how I'm going to get out of this trade that with the 500 bucks that I've invested by, you know, buying lower and buying more. Okay. Hi, Luke. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm keeping you away from my trades. Luke is saying, well said, exactly. Collecting free coins will pay you 100 times in the future. We're at 400 bill market cap. But when we're at 2 trillion market cap, you will be so happy you collected free coins. Absolutely. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. And guys, there's plenty of resources out there. There's the I use this one sometimes. I have it on my Telegram account. Okay, there's this one. You can get Binance and Bittrex alerts literally for free. I'm gonna link it in the chat. And just sign up, and basically what it does is it scans the markets for you, and then it's gonna tell you, oh my god, ABC coin went down, you know, 10% or 10% under the base. Because this thing just doesn't say that yes, it went, you know, 10% down from where it came from. It will tell you that it went 10% down below the previous support base. This is how we trade here. Yes, it is, Luke. What playlist am I using? It's called Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio. It's a live stream on YouTube. Okay, I'll link it too. It's pretty chill. I like it. There you go. The 100 times leverage playlist. Is it to calm myself? No, I'm pretty calm. Okay, so imagine you eventually come to have hundreds of different free coins. How do you keep up with them to know when ones of them spike and it's good to sell? Normally, you have to understand that normally a lot of coins, they do follow the same pattern, okay? Because look, they've all been tanking and slowly grinding down for months. But now BTC is on the rise, so they're, you know, going up. And I'm not the kind of a person, okay? And you can trade differently. Like I mentioned before, I had somebody on this Twitch earlier, and we traded the same dip, but we've done it in 2 completely different ways, but we still made profits. So I'm just talking from my perspective, and you don't have to follow it. Is crypto-based scanner good? I don't use crypto-based scanner, but I've heard it's really good. So I don't really need to use all of these extra tools. Like I just do it my old-fashioned way. So instead of me freaking out and selling somewhere up on top, unless it's a coin that, you know, I'm getting in quickly and getting out, most of the time on the long-term holds, okay, the coins that I'm interested in for whatever reason, I buy in and then I give it time, you know, I'll trade it, and then all of these free coins that I've gotten here, I'll just leave them in there. And then let's say a month, 2, 3 months later, you know, this is when the real profits come in. Same thing with EOS. I haven't really sold any of this coin. All I've been doing was accumulating it, okay? All I've been doing over here was just buying. And the way I was buying this stuff was not that I was, you know, only using my own money, but whatever money I would have coming out of other coins as profits, instead of putting them in my USDT stack, I would take them and throw them into EOS or something else, you know? So, this really paid off for me, and like I was telling Luke earlier, I got sick and tired of selling, okay? Oh, and I also traded the zip too. I got sick and tired of selling because I'm like, Jesus Christ, you know, this thing is almost 200% up since the lowest point where I bought it. How much can I sell? You know, plus I still want to hold some coins. I want to hold some of, the coins that I purchased over here. So I've pretty much given up on selling. I took the profits out, put them back into my USDT stack and some other coins. And, all I'm doing is waiting for a nice juicy dip at this point, okay? But this is insane, okay? This has been pretty crazy lately. When do you recommend position trading? When you have enough money to cover your ass in case this coin goes lower, okay? Like I said, if you have 500 bucks to your name, try building up your account first. You have 0.0 whatever 2-3 BTC. You can absolutely come in, but wouldn't you want to invest a little bit more on a dip? For example, let's just say you have $500. You can absolutely trade this dip. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to build up your account, okay? If you don't really care about taking the profits out right away and leaving crypto within a few months with, $10,000, for example, then you still have time. Then you can take that $500 and say, okay, I'm going to trade this dip right here, but I'm also going to make sure that my buys are layered all the way down to wherever it is. So obviously, do not go all in on this dip right here, right? Maybe put like 50 bucks in here. And then on that $50, wherever you make the profits, keep the profits in the coin and then take the initial investment out. And this is why I honestly recommend that you guys stick to account building if you don't have a lot of money to play with right now. Okay? If you only have just a few $100s, it's not like you can't make money on these coins. You can absolutely do it. I just know a lot of you are extremely impatient. Okay? You want immediate return and immediate gratification 5 seconds after you invested something. What if you invested 500 bucks over here? What are you gonna do? Sit and bite your nails for a month and a half? It's a psychological factor that you always have to consider. Okay, so in order for me to trade safely in these coins, I first decided that I need to build up, a nice trading stack, and I've been doing it just trading one coin. Okay, it's a lot of hard work, I understand, and it does require patience. Okay, but you're never gonna get anywhere if you haven't noticed yet. How long a lot of you have been trading for? A few months, 6 months like me, 7 months. You're gonna wreck yourself by continuously doing the same mistakes that you've been doing. Okay, if your buys are layered that dip, are you keeping all of that money tied up in holds? Absolutely not. No. So it's not about what you want and how fast you want to get out of the trade with how much profits, okay? And this is where people fall into the technical analysis trap, because they're looking at a nice chart and they're like, wow, this guy says, I'm just gonna draw a random triangle over here, right? This guy says that this coin is gonna do this and this and this and this, and then by May 5th, this line shows that it's gonna go up by 40%, right? For example. So you're like, awesome, I'm gonna get in right here because this guy says that this line is gonna go up to this amount by May 5th. And then it doesn't happen because the market changes. Guys, just literally for shits and giggles, pardon my French. Okay? What is this? Trading view. Hold on a second. Okay. Trading view. Okay? Just to prove my point. So let's see, how did they do that? Trading ideas, right? What is it? Oh, here. Okay, let's take this Russian guy. I know I can make fun of Russians because I'm Russian myself. Okay, so he has all these wonderful ideas, right? And he's like, guys, I think this is whatever. I'm sorry, this is my free entertainment for the night. And then, okay, where is this? Okay, Bitcoin buy opportunity January 29th, right? Let me see. Oh, look, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. So this is what I'm saying. This is basically my free entertainment, because they have all of these wonderful predictions, right? And then they're like, I think it's gonna go do this and this and this, and you're like, well, wait, hold on a second. This green arrow shows me that by January 31st, it's supposed to be at this price level, and then bam, something completely different happens. Okay, so you're putting yourself into a position where you're just not prepared for any other outcome. And this is why I like to layer, because like I mentioned before, I've made a mistake once when I started trading, and I've learned from my mistake. Okay, I was trading Ethereum, USDT, and Bittrex, because that was like the exchange I was using, and I decided to use Luke's method because I watched his wonderful video how to trade Ethereum and make profit on every trade. And let me go back into, let's see, October is when I started to trade, right? One of these I screwed up royally, okay, because I'm like, wow, cool, it's tanking, this one, and I'm gonna layer, and by the time we've gotten to, I think, this point, I've had all of my money in there, okay, and then it dipped lower, and guess what I've done? I freaked out and I sold, because everything that I had, and I've seen the USD amount in my trading stack was decreasing because this coin was dipping so much. I freaked out and I'm like, oh my god, this is insane. I'm gonna lose all of the money that I have. So I sold at loss, and then this thing spiked back up. Okay. So to avoid these kind of situations in the future, what I do is, just for my own safety and mental health, in case I decide to take a trade, okay, so next time this thing dipped, like over here or whatever, I'm also considering how low can this thing go? Where are my previous bases? And if the coin decides to tank through the previous base, because like I said, guys, I'm, you know, the kind of a trader that only trades off the panics, right? In case this thing decides to dip, how much money can I afford to invest over here just to cover my butt in case this thing decides to go all the way down to $5, you know? So the lower it goes, the higher the amounts that I'm putting in are, okay? I'm just reading, 1 second. BCC, USDT, Bitcoin Cash has been crazy too. It gave a beautiful panic to 700 in February and bounced to 1600. Yes, it did. And then it cracked at 7,000 a few days ago and touched 600, and the market changed to bullish in a few days again. We're back to 1600. Those are your insane percentages or position trades that you can take size on. Absolutely. And I've done the same thing with Ethereum. I've been trading Ethereum, and we didn't really have, let me just go to Ethereum. Oh, I'm already on it. We didn't really have this much of, you know, panic over here basically, but I've traded this, and then I've positioned myself in Ethereum at this price level. Not because it was panicking, you know, well, actually it was, like, I positioned myself over here because it went under the previous support base. And then I needed that Ethereum to trade other alts. So in case this thing would have decided to dip lower, of course I would have had more money to play with, but this thing decided to turn around and go back up. So what I'm explaining to you guys is that if you want to get into a trade, okay, position yourself. This is why you position yourself. Position yourself in the trade, and let's say, you know what, I've decided to get into Ethereum right here, right? And then wait what happens. Let the coin do its thing. You know, consider the previous base instead of putting all of your money in here or in here, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. Why don't you position yourself with a portion of your portfolio money in there? And then in case this thing decides to go lower, you can cover your ass that way. The coins go up for many, many various reasons. Okay, whether it's a hard fork or something else. This is why I like crypto. It's extremely volatile. Okay, bad news, the coin tanks 50%. Great news, the coin pumps 70%. Don't be the person who is FOMOing in here. Okay, be the person that says, you know what, this is a pretty cheap price. How about I'll buy some over here because this thing looks, you know, pretty decent. And then see what it does. You know, put 50 bucks, 100, 200 bucks in there. You know, don't go all in. You can still get yourself in a position, but you can always get out. Like I said, I'm not afraid of buying into a coin because I know that I always have plenty of money to get out of the trade by not selling at loss, but by buying lower and buying twice as much. Because this way, in case this thing bounces from here after it tanks, right, I can not only compensate for this loss, I can also make profits on this trade right here. Okay, so on that circle, it wasn't really panic. Yes, it was. If you okay, let me zoom in on 1 hour chart. It wasn't like panic, but yes, we did have a nice panic. Except I decided not to sell over here. I've decided to keep holding, and I did the same thing with BTC. BTC, I bought it around 67, 6,800, and Ethereum, I bought it around 350, 360, 362 or something over here. So this was my previous base, right? We tanked, and I bought here. And instead of selling on the spike, right, or whatever over here, because I could have sold anywhere over here, I've decided to hold, which was also my personal preference. Okay, because I needed Ethereum to trade other alts, basically. Guys, give me 1 second. I need to grab some water. I'm starting to dehydrate a little. Okay, I'm back. You guys hear me okay? Whew, got a gallon of water here. No, you're not a noob, trust me. I was a noob as well, BB. Okay? If I sit in 80% in USDT, what's my plan for it? Am I going to wait for 10% drop in BTC? You guys have to understand how I trade, okay? And I'm just going to go off what I do to make money. On smaller coins, okay? Because if I'm going to tell you how much I have, you're going to be like, what? But on smaller coins, I can't trade with this much, okay? Because I'm going to pump the hell out of a coin at this point. And I want to avoid that. So what I do is I wait for, because the larger amounts that I can invest are on larger coins, okay? So that USDT stack, or USD stack at this point, because I moved everything over to GDAX, so I can play with the larger guys. I can basically buy anywhere, you know, I can put a lot more money in here and not pump the little coin, you know? Wait, BTCP now, panic. Yes, I'll show you how to find AB coins again. 1 second. It was in one of my previous videos, and I'll explain it to you again. But let me talk about this for now. So, I can put a lot more money in here and make larger percentages on it, okay? Because with larger amounts of money, from my experience, my trades are much slower, okay? But they're more profitable. Because, for example, if I would put, I don't know, you know, if I'm going to put 100K into a coin, right? And it's a small, tiny coin that's on little, tiny, you know, not little, tiny, but like on Binance. I'm going to pump the hell out of that coin, you know? But if I'm going to put 100,000 in here, and then a few weeks later, I make 90% on that 100,000. I'm 100,000 almost in profit, okay? Does it make sense to you? This is why I have my USDT or USD stack separate, because that stack I use to make larger profits, basically, on these larger, on these, like, thank you, BB, on these larger trades, you understand? On these larger coins. So, well, taxes are taxes. Of course we have to pay taxes, but I'm okay with it. So, you know, so for me, it just doesn't make any sense to come in with larger sums and trade little coins, because with that money, what I do is, let's just say, you know, I decided to sell all of my Ethereum over here at, I'm going to round it off to 100%, right? I have a choice. I can take out all of my profits and put it back into my USDT stack, including the initial investment. Or I can take that amount of money, or less, whatever, and use that money to trade my other alts. Because essentially, that 100 grand worth of Ethereum, it's still free coins for me, you know? You need to expect for BTC Ethereum to drop to sit in 80% Ethereum. Of course, guys, I'm not trading a coin because I've decided to get in over here. Of course I can, you know, for example, if I'm missing some Ethereum or whatever, if I need it for something, yeah, I'll buy in right here. But am I going to go all in? Absolutely not. It's a safe trade. And safe trade is, even if I put over here and I have 100 grand to play with, right? Am I going to throw in 100 grand over here? Am I crazy? Of course not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put maybe 5K, because the rest of my, you know, money is going to be nicely sitting in my trading stack, USDT trading stack, just in case this thing decides to dip lower. And the only way I trade these things are if they're panicking under the previous base. Okay, so these are my safe areas to buy. These are my safe areas to buy. These are my safe areas to buy. You know, I could also probably bought over here, but I didn't take this. these are all of my safe areas to buy, okay? Not because, oh my god, I really need to take this trade, but because I'm like, all right, this is safe enough for me. I can probably, you know, throw a nice large sum in it because we had a 20-25% drop, a panic drop, right? And now it's bouncing back up. So all right. So I'm not interested in using my USD or USDT stack, okay? Unless there's a nice panic going on a larger coin, because it just allows me to make more money. Okay. Does it make any sense to you? I hope I wasn't talking to myself. Is my mic working? Okay. Yes. I don't like trading pullbacks, but if a panic is... Okay, listen, with pullbacks, I'm just a little sketched out by them because if... give me a coin. Give me a coin to... what was the coin? I looked at it recently. A second. There was a coin that had a pullback. One second, I'm just looking for a coin. RCN, okay. I think it was in Binance. Let me see. Okay, like right here, do I want to trade this pullback? Absolutely not. I'm actually very, very aware, and I avoid these things like plague, and it's my own personal, you know, preference, obviously. If you guys want to get into these things, absolutely. But, you know, things like this happen, okay? When the coin pumps and then it dumps. Do I want to get stuck in it? Absolutely not. So I take these things into consideration. So if I decide to trade this, right? If I'm saying, okay, do I want to trade this right now? Probably not. It would probably put a little bit less money in here than I would have, you know, put over here. Because to me, this is a nice, strong panic, you know, under a previous base, for example. To me, this right here, it's just a correction that happens after the coin gets pumped, you know, to an extent. So I'm more aware of these things. So when I look, like I said, when I look at the coin, I first say, what happened in the past? Did it pump? Yes, it did. Does it have a higher chance of dropping? Absolutely. Did it break any bases? Well, yes, it did break like a crappy base over here. I could have still traded this. But because of this thing right here, I normally don't touch points like that. It's just for my own safety, okay? Do I use stop limit buy orders? No, I don't. I don't do any of that stuff. I just, you know, if I decide to, let's just say, get in over here, you know, I just position myself in these trades. Okay. Okay, let me see what Nano was doing. Nano, BTC. Where's the panic? I don't see it. Okay. We might have had this little drop. You could have traded this. It's not even like 5%. I'm not interested in that. What I traded on Nano was this. So you guys have been asking me, yeah, but I'm not interested in this. I'm interested in this because we had a much stronger base over here, okay? And to me, this was a nice panic drop. Plus, I was also looking at the volume and I've seen all of these orders come in. So this was a little bit better for me. And I've traded this, but I bought like a teeny tiny bit because 5% drop, it's still not enough, okay? For me, a nice juicy drop, this I wouldn't trade. For me, a nice juicy drop would be something like this over here. You know, when we tanked and we went whatever percent under the base and then we had a bounce. And this would have been much nicer, obviously, as well, when we had a drop and then we had a nice bounce. And I think I sold somewhere over here. Come. So right now, if I want to position myself in this trade, I can absolutely do so. But 2-3% is just not interesting enough for me. How do I recognize a good account building coin? Like I explained it to you guys before, okay? So when I go into account building, I usually prefer to go on little crappy exchanges like Cryptopia and KuCoin. So you can also do it on larger exchanges. I know Binance is a little bit more heavy on volume. So the coins just don't have these crazy swings because a lot of people trade them and there's just not enough gaps in the order book. So let me see, Cryptopia. Crave was the coin I was trading. Okay, Crave was a beautiful coin. It still is. Don't go cram on it, guys, because each one of these bounces, you know, you can easily make anywhere between 10 to 15% or more. It takes a while, but you can still make money. Okay, so what I do, hold on, let me lower this music, it's distracting me. Okay, so for Crave, for example, when I look at the order book, I haven't looked at any. No, this order book has changed a lot. Let me find a coin for you. Hold on a second. I've been trading Poly on Bittrex on Ethereum side for a while. It's been a really good coin to me. Okay. Okay, so I look at these bounces, right? I look at normal, you know, percentage bounces basically. So I see that this coin, you know, goes up and down like this. I'm looking for that, Luke calls it the whippy pattern, okay? Because this is what makes me money. So I see that, for example, this coin has been doing this whippy thing. And then I look at the order book. And I've explained to you guys before how I look at the order book. The order book has to be thin enough for me to throw my buys in there. So if I see that there's a gap, and I'm not talking about thin as far as the volume is concerned, right? I'm talking about thin as far as the orders are concerned. So if I see that there's a gap between, like, there's a 664, then the next one is 671, you know, and then we have a few 6-7s and then 684. There's a huge gap between some of these orders. This is not a good example, but anyway, on some of these order books, for example, you know, this would be our buys. So the buys are spread out pretty well between each other. So what happens is, if this coin decides to go down, right, like it did over here, in order for the sellers to sell, let's just say they're going to sell 20 BTC worth of this coin, okay? In order for them to sell the 20 BTC worth of the coin, they will have to go down the buy side of the order book, right? So if the orders are spread out quite well, then what happens is, by the time they fill, you know, they sell off 20 BTC worth of the coins, they go down the order book and they bring the coin down, okay? Do you understand what I'm trying to explain to you? So somebody, because look at the volume. The volume is not really big, right? But these large candles are pretty long. These red candles are pretty long. What that shows to me is that somebody was trying to sell off these many coins, right? But because the orders are so thin on the buy side, in order for them to sell off, let's just say 20 BTC worth of this coin, they had to go down the order book. And then by the time they were done selling into these orders, the coin dropped quite significantly. Let's just say it dropped, 10, or sometimes it drops 20, 30%. Because the order book is so thin. If the order book looked different, and I was talking about not the size of the orders, the order book would look like, the orders would be one Satoshi apart. By the time these guys are done selling 20 BTC worth of these coins, the coin would only drop so little, okay? The coin would only drop just a tiny bit, because 20 BTC worth of this coin would probably fill only like the top 2, 3, 4 orders, right? But because the orders are so far apart, by the time they're done selling it, they go all the way down to, let's just say 68, for example, right? Somewhere over there on the bottom. So your job as an account builder is to position yourself in this order book to get into the coin, right? You layer your buys somewhere in this section over here, right? And this is why you have to look at the previous, what the coin is doing. I'm going to go back to Crave because it's a little bit better example as far as, okay, so Crave, you see, slow moving coin, does its own thing, blah, blah, blah. So the reason why it's been doing all these spikes is because by the time these guys are done selling, and I think it's picking up in volume. This has been different, okay? By the time these guys are done selling 5 BTC worth of this coin, they're going down the order book, and the order book looked very, very thin. Now it's, all lined up nicely. And this is what causes the spike. So your job to get in, if you want to get into the coin, is layer your buys over here. If you're playing with $200, put, 20 bucks here, maybe another 20 a few orders lower. And by the time you're done, setting up your buys would look like this, okay? And then when these guys, the sellers, decide to sell, they just go down the order book and they catch your buys, okay? And then same thing on the sell side. Same thing on the sell side. If the sell side of the order book also looks thin, if there are plenty of gaps between the orders, then you can absolutely layer your sells over here as well, okay? You layer, 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 layer. I usually stop before the large orders, because the large orders, what happens is a lot of times it's really hard for these coins to get through these large orders. So to me, it's kind of like the ceiling, How long am I going to be streaming? I don't know. As soon as I'm done explaining this stuff, hopefully, and people don't have any questions for the day. You can always rewatch it, because I do have them recorded. Okay. So same thing on the sell side. So you lowered you layered your buys, right, in this thin order book. Some of them got picked up, and then all you have to do is layer your sells, okay? And you can layer them between these thick, not thick, thin orders, okay? And thin, I mean like a gap. Look, there's 23.42. Next one is 22.74. This one's 22.46. This one is 21.90. Okay, and like I said, if you actually look at the order book, if you draw these lines out where each order is, it looks very thin. So by the time this coin decides to go up, the buyers will have to eat through all of these orders, and it's not that difficult to do. And this is what makes the coin go up and down and spike like this. Does it make sense to you guys? Okay. So your job is to go down the list of coins. Let's just say, and this is why I like CoinG, because you can definitely see where the spikes are happening. Go down you know, CoinG, Cryptopia, HitBTC, KuCoin. You can find some coins on Bittrex as well, on Ethereum pairs. You know, they have a little bit more volume, but they also have these nice whippy patterns. And that's it, you know. Just look at the coins that you're might be interested in trading. This should be okay. And see how the order book looks. Does it have the whippy pattern like this? Yes. What's the next thing you have to look at? How does the order book look? Okay, we have 41s, and then we have 4131, and we've got 4050, and you know, a few other ones. There's a, yeah, okay. This coin would likely probably bounce up this section because of these buying orders. Okay. And same thing on the sell side. 43, 43, 43, 44, 44, 12, 44, 54, 4500, you know, so you can probably layer somewhere in this section. And then just take out the little measuring tool and then just see how much percentage you're looking at. Okay? Yeah, like look, 15, 115, 114, 113, 112, right? They're like one right after another. Then we have a nice large order over here. Then we have 110, 105, 104, 103, 101, 99, you know? So some of the, I don't know, the coins have been gaining in volume, honestly. It sucks. This one is not bad. Look, 238, 239, 242, 245, 252, 257, 260, 263. You know, you can absolutely layer your stuff all the way here because the orders are going to be set here, okay? And this is like the spread basically. So all you have to do is layer, okay? Berry BTC, yeah, absolutely. I think I traded this one as well. Berry BTC, yeah, I've been trading it. Yeah, this one looks, look, 606, and the next one is 575. What stops you from throwing, you know, a few bucks in here, in between these two orders, you know? Because by the time this thing decides to go down, most likely your orders will be eaten. I don't really like BTC as much anymore because the bots are annoying as hell. What happens is, you know, you place your order somewhere here and then the bots are like, no, 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 I'm gonna get in front of you. So I can't really put a lot of money in there. I literally have to throw in just a few bucks. So, do you also trade Ethereum pairs on BTC? Of course. Like I said, guys, I trade whatever is available, whether it's a USDT pair, BTC pair, Ethereum pair. I've been making bank on Ardor, because you guys all know I'm an Ardor hoarder, on HitBTC, because they just introduced a USD pair to it. And this coin has been amazing, okay? This coin has been absolutely amazing. I've been accumulating this coin like no other, and this really helps me a lot because all of these bounces, you know, I make good money on them. I can't obviously put a lot of money in there because the orders are just very puny, but if I'm working with, you know, 200-300 bucks, then I can still make profits on them. So okay, what else? Let me see. So yeah, so I don't need you, if you guys have so much to play with, then stick to AB for now. You know, obviously you can trade other pairs, but like I said before, if you only have a few $100 to your name, you can absolutely trade Ethereum, right? Or BTC. But the problem is you won't be making that much money unless there's a nice dip, okay? So if you come in with $300 and you decide to trade this dip and it's only a 3% drop, you're not really making that much. What's the biggest amount you use for account building trades? It depends on the size. Like nulls, I was trading with, about $500, but I know I could probably throw in there a little bit more. And then on some other ones, you also have to keep an eye on what, how big are the trades basically. The rest of the trades. So on Crave, I'm going to go back to that coin because I've been trading it for a while. What's the average order size? 0.05, 0.02, 0.001. So you don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. You don't want to come in with 0.5 BTC and try to layer it because it's going to be hard for people to chew through these, So stick to, look at the order book before you decide to, on which amount you want to throw in the coin, okay? If the coin has larger orders, then you're probably going to feel safer putting a little bit more money in. Does KuCoin have fewer bots than HitBTC? No, it doesn't. They're all ran by bots essentially, or just people, I say bots, but I'm sure there's people in there too. But with HitBTC, they're just aggressive. So, all right. So same thing over here. Like when I was trading, to this day, it's my favorite coin, DICE. And like I said before, I think it's coming back to us. Let me see, I haven't checked on it for a while. Yeah, DICE was nice. Back in the day, I was trading this thing for close to a month. Okay, let me see.
Today I am on the topic of marijuana. Let's put it this way.
This one, right here.
Set everything straight.
Okay, so the reason why this thing was swinging so crazy is because of the relatively thin order book. And look, even now the order book looks pretty thin if you think about it. We got 16, then 17, 17, 17, then 18, 18, 5, 20. Okay, that's pretty crazy. It is a slow moving coin, but you can still make money off of it because of the thin order book. Okay?
I was smoking with my nephew, okay? We smoke inside the house.
Do I look more at the big order sizes or the channel percentage of cracks at a coin in it? What? Because I find it too high in front of the wall. I don't understand what you mean. Do you look more at the big order sizes or the channel? The big order sizes are just kind of, it's like a secondary thing for me. It's just something that, I know like either it's a base or it's a resistance, and a lot of times what happens is if it's a 10 BTC order, for example, right, and it's just sitting there in a low volume coin, as a sell order. The guys or whoever is running the coin, they have a really hard time eating through that wall. So basically, for example, at 26,700, let's just say we're going to have a 5 BTC wall, right? So what's going to happen is this coin is going to hit the ceiling for a while before it either breaks through it or continues down. So it's just like an extra hint, Of course I look at the channel, like I said, I go down the list of coins, okay? And then I say, okay, this is definitely, don't get stuck in these, okay? And then, okay, hold on a second, what the hell's going on? And then I look at it and I'm like, does it do the whippy thing? Or is it going in a flat line like this? Because I don't need the flat line. I need it to do this. Because each one of these bounces and drops, this is what makes me money on account building. Okay? Let me see. So like over here, you know, yes, it doesn't have like crazy percentage ups and downs, but you can still probably layer some of your buys in here, although we do have a nice support base. You know, a lot of people are interested in buying this coin at these particular prices. So you don't really have a lot of room to play with, because by the time the sellers are done chewing through this order, you know, you only have these two orders to play with basically before that.
We're gonna schedule one song only. Lady Hum.
Oh, guys, I have to go get my dog 1 second. Hey, Smexy, how are you? Give me 1 second. I think my dog wants to go outside. Cat, Ethereum. No, wait, CPY. Yeah, this one.
So, Coach, I was thinking about the music.
This hasn't been so bad. And the order book looks relatively thinnish. So. Okay. FID. This one doesn't look so bad either. This one, Ensure, has been really good to me. I've been literally just, I still have some buys layered here, but this is the channel that it's been going, and this is where I've been placing most of my buys in this one. And the order book looks decent too. Okay. Why don't you take one coin, BB? Take one coin and practice on it, okay? You just don't have the patience for it. Yeah. I mean, how does you not being patient help you? Does it help you make money? Does it help you be more productive? No. You know, it's not about what you want. It's not about what you think is going to happen. You know, it's about how you're reacting to basically the coin. The coin is still going to do what it's going to do, especially in the little account building coins. You know, just because you're sitting there and staring at it, it's not going to make it move faster. You get into 20, 30 coins, you can absolutely get into 20, 30 coins. I do the same thing, but I have the funds to play with. You know, I can be in 20, 30 coins because I've gotten them, you know, through my previous position trades, for example. But when I first started, I didn't have that much to play with, and everything that I have right now, it's a lot of hard work. It's because I've worked my ass off, basically. You're spreading like 8 coins with a total amount of about E-Pink. Are you making money on them, or how are you dealing with that? You guys doing good? It's not big percentages. Yeah. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes I play just 1 or 2 coins and the ones that I really like. So I've been playing on Bittrex a lot lately, and some of these coins have been very, very profitable for me. Some haven't been, you know, that good, but like I said, I'm a safe trader, and I can play with these guys a little bit. So let me see. I picked this one, EXCL, I don't know what it's called, because of these crazy spikes, and then it's been consistently, you know, getting me pretty good profits, basically. Sometimes I would manage to sell in these spikes right here. The volume is not that bad. You can still, you know, put a little bit more money in here if you want. ENG has been really good. I've been trading all of these things basically. They've been quite decent, you know, but you also have to keep in mind the coin is a slow moving coin. So you have to position yourself and then give it a chance to go up, okay? BTC is at 9,500, go Bitcoin. Yay, that's awesome. You know, and then these I've just been trading the drops basically. I haven't really done anything. This one is not bad. MUE, BTC. This one is more of a position trading type of a coin for me. But it does have nice ups and downs, and I've been following it religiously, and I've been making really good money off of it too. With these kind of coins, you can probably play with, you know, $500–600. Yeah, you can send, I mean, you pick the exchange, because trust me, any of these exchanges, they have some decent coins to play with, basically. I like KuCoin a lot nowadays. But I also like Bittrex, because Bittrex does have a little bit more volume, and I can, you know, play with a little bit more money on these guys. So, Poly... Yeah, Poly has been trading this thing. Pot. Salt has been decent as well, not a lot of volume, but it's been nice. Oh, and this one, VEE. I don't even know what this coin is. All I've been doing was like buying all of these little dips and just selling up on top. Buying over here, selling up here. Buying over here, selling over here. It's been really good to me. Same thing with Wax as well. And this one. This I've traded. I don't know if it was a fat finger or what the hell happened over here, but I've traded this one, and then I think I'm still in here. I haven't sold anything yet. So, okay, let me see. And you guys ask questions if you have any kind of questions, or if something confuses you, just let me know, okay? Because there are two different ways to trade. There's the account building, which I'm, you know, talking about right now, and then there's the position trading, but that's for when you have a little bit more money. So the last few days, because I haven't been able to really trade a lot because I was visiting friends and whatnot, I've only been trading on Binance. And all I've been doing was just trading the dips, because we did have a nice dip in a few different coins. There was AMB, I think, that was the one I was trading. So what I've done was I pretty much traded just these dips right here, you know. To me, this was a nice juicy dip. I didn't trade over here, but I did buy over here, okay? So I nibbled a little bit over here, and then I think I'm still holding this thing. And then another one, obviously, is EOS. EOS I've been selling like crazy. And I'm still probably going to hold some money in EOS, because I'm holding this thing long term. So my next, the next time I'm going to replenish my EOS stack is when it's going to dip nicely, you know, and then I'm going to participate in this dip, take the initial investment out, and keep the profits in. Okay. Is dip the same as panic? Yeah. I only trade the panics, okay? Unless I want to get into a coin because I want to position myself in it. Even if I get into a coin because, and there's no panic going on, I still can get into it. But I don't really trade with large amounts if, you know, it's just crawling at the bottom or slowly grinding lower, okay? The more profitable trades for me are the ones that have a nice panic drop, okay? And then they rise. So lately, honestly, I haven't been needing to do anything. All I've done was just pretty much sell my profits in a lot of coins. And does it mean that, I'm freaking out because I'm not trading? Absolutely not. If I want, I can go do, account building. Trust me, fund management takes a lot of time too. If you have 70 coins like the ones I'm holding, after a while, it takes up a lot of your time just to manage them and to sell profits, to decide how much you want to take out and how much you want to keep in. So this has also been a very busy season for me, because even if the market is bullish right now and I'm not actively purchasing the coins, it doesn't mean I'm not selling them. Okay, and selling also takes time. And the way I sell my profits, for example, if I'm in EOS and I bought over here, and over here, what I do is I usually just layer my sells the same way as I layer my buys. So I can sell somewhere over here, on a rise, and then keep my profits in. And then whatever free coins I've gotten, I'm not too worried about selling all of them right away, but I've been hot potatoing this thing all the way up to here, and I still have a bunch of coins left in here. So I could sell, let me see, after my initial investment, because usually I try to get rid of that first, because that's my own money, and I put it back into my trading stack. What I do is I sell the profits. I usually put 20%. So I take 20% of my profits and sell them here. And then the next time this thing decides to go up, I sell 20% of 80% that's left of my profits in here. And then same thing over here, whatever is left from those profits after I sold here and here, I sold 20% of that. At this point, I stopped selling because I'm running low on EOS, and I still want to keep this coin long term. So I'm waiting for it to dip at some point, because trust me, there's always going to be a dip. Don't you worry. There's always going to be a dip, okay? I'm going to participate in that dip with whatever money I decide to go in. And then I'm going to start accumulating the coin again, okay? And whatever profits are left in here, I'm not afraid of leaving them there, because A, they're my free coins, and B, I know in case this thing decides to drop lower and lower and lower, I can compensate for my loss from whatever profits I have left in here, okay? All right, guys. I'm gonna go because I have to walk my dog. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'll try to set up the giveaway tomorrow so I can do giveaways on my stream now. Somebody was kind enough to tip me some BTC, and I appreciate it. So I'm gonna start giving it away for people to to have some money too. Yes, I'll get Nano Twitch. Trust me, I'll set everything up. Alright, I will be on probably tomorrow or maybe the day after. And feel free to message me if you have any questions, okay? So, alright, talk to you guys later. Bye.